Welcome to tonight's 5-year anniversary of the Plumes of Hazards. I am MassBlast09, and these are my 5-year anniversary co-hosts. Fubaka.
Fun fact about 5 years. We're still barely floating above 10,000 subs.
Understudy 77.
What up?
And the Yanksville Vapor.
Whoa, wait. No, what the fuck is that, Sean? What is that in your hand?
Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Oh, God.
I can't drink beer.
I'd rather I'd rather you smoke a cigarette right now.
I can't drink beer. And
it doesn't have to be beer. Give me a fucking glass of whiskey or something.
Yeah, I don't have any hard liquor.
Someone get this man a pack of cigarettes, please.
Look, this is what I have. Okay, so, all right.
At least it's got alcohol in it.
This is what I have, and it has alcohol in it. I'm good.
Can we do the math on how many soda cans Anxie has gone through in 5 years?
Oh, I don't think I want to do that math.
Oh,
you could probably still finish them.
They could have built a wall across Mexico. Boom.
You probably could put a serious dent in it anyway.
You're the reason why there's no wall yet.
No. Use the Diet Coke cans. Oh man,
I definitely are keeping the local recycling business in business. That's for sure.
Putting the grandkids through college, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, amazing! 5 years, folks. 5 years, and vaping has died and returned back alive, and then died again, and then died.
High-end stuff was here for a while, then it died.
Is that still dead?
So wait, we should just play what was that, typo negative? Everything dies. Just everything. Wow. 5 fucking years. I can't even believe that myself. I was telling my wife earlier, I'm like, yeah, it's been 5 years. She's like,
I was doing the math on the pooper the other week. I was like, oh damn.
So you know what's really irritating me right now is I could have sworn that I had a mashup video of every intro from every show.
I thought we do.
It's got to be somewhere. I just don't know where it is, but I want it because that would be a fun thing to end with tonight.
Yeah, that, or I'm pulling down the our first episode so we can play that. So I can play that intro because that was cringy.
That though.
What?
That's fine. I'm all open to humiliation, but.
Oh no, I was just talking about playing the 10-second intro. So
our first ever show was like awkward as shit, and I did the intro, if you remember.
You did.
There was no music. There was no, there was none of that.
No, there's none of that.
But
I feel like it was like the first 10 or 15 minutes were pretty damn awkward, but then it got better quickly. I feel like
it did.
I'd like to think that it did.
Yeah.
It
was just one of those, like, okay, we're on.
Uh-oh.
Oh, please get a screen cap of that face.
I'm trying. No. Oh, shoot. I can't. It's
gone.
God damn it.
Wait.
Reviewers queue intro? No, please don't. I remember bits and pieces of the intro, but I'm not doing no.
Oh, Ace says he wants to make a new intro song. He's going to produce it.
Wow.
Wait.
Here we have.
Oh my god!
If it's not a trap intro, I have no interest in myself. You have to out trap like that. That's just, you have to out trap it.
Again.
That's my only stipulation.
Well, there you go, Ace. We want to talk about it. Let's talk about it. We haven't done a long one. We haven't done a new one in forever. Like we've had the same song since, I don't know, a few episodes in.
Mm-hmm.
But we've had 2 different actual intros.
Oh, we've had way more than 2.
Was it 3?
We've had 2 that were more professionally made than I know.
Yeah.
That is a good question. Where is Motherhead?
The better question is, where the fuck is this? There has to be a video somewhere.
Dude, Aaron says Ace can throw down some sick trap beats.
Oh.
Right.
He said done.
Is it legal to do vape show music without dubstep?
A good question.
No, that's part of the FDA regulations, Festy. It's got to be the traps.
You know what the worst part is? Because I agree that dubstep is played at so many vape shows, and it's all like, it's not even the good shit, man. But then there would be those who say it's all garbage and what have you. I mean, literally, they take the same 4 fucking songs they played at every vape convention.
Yeah.
But
True.
Sure. We're gathering a link or two here to talk about. Let's see. What was that other one I was going to talk about today? Oh, yeah.
Wow.
This video exists somewhere.
I know. You have it. I know you have it. I'm 30% right now downloading our first, so it's almost.
Oh, good. Okay.
Almost there.
So I found the YouTube video of our old original Red intro. That exists.
I have that one. I have that one.
That was the one that you did, I think.
That was the one that I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I have that. I have that separate intro.
Yeah. And that one wasn't bad for what it was. I thought
that was like our first professionally intro, like the first thing that wasn't just us humming.
Yes, exactly. Plus, it had credits.
We didn't do that much because we kind of just rolled with, hey, welcome.
It did have credits.
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
Was it? This was our original one here.
No.
That was professional.
That one was so much fun.
That was a good one. I agree.
The most professional.
It looks so young. Much less jaded and angry, too.
I think, at least me and Sean look a lot less fat now. Sean looked like a damn chipmunk.
Yeah.
Oh,
I found it.
You
the
found
mashup.
it.
I found it.
Send me the mashup.
I'm going to put it in Dropbox.
Yeah. Can you send me the direct link? Because, I'm gangsta like that.
Actually, already in Dropbox. So let me.
Of course.
I feel like we've talked about this before. All right, let me
It's there. I found it. We're good. Okay. All right, we can move on now.
Oh shit! A player has entered the building.
Oh,
hey.
Damn it! You ruined my opening joke.
No. Hello, welcome.
My opening joke was going to be, "Hey, where's Sean?"
That would have been accurate in most of the shows.
But he's here.
What's going on, Tuffy?
What's up, guys?
You were in the video that we just played a second ago, though.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You were boiling a
air for the Manhattan thing.
It was that the Manhattan airflow test.
Right on.
Yes.
God, that was a long time ago.
What you got behind you there, Chuffy?
Oh.
Oh, is that a metal lathe?
It's a lovely Chinese lathe.
Ooh.
Direct from Shenzhen, China.
Nice.
Wait, no. Are you in Shenzhen right now?
Yeah. Actually, with the Cubs hat, probably.
C is for China.
I don't know if you guys heard or not. We locked down Bryant and Baez today, avoided arbitration with both those guys, so that's good news. So what's happening? 4 years, huh?
5.
No.
Another one.
5 years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Even longer. That's what did we figure? It was 523 years of vape experience.
What's the show title? 384.
384 years of vaping experience.
compared to other podcasts, only like what 27 years of vaping experience.
Yeah,
That's about right.
very inferior. Yeah, the less numbers.
So are you in? Is this the garage setup?
It is the garage.
Nice. I like the lighting, nice and bright.
Dude, I got 7.
Oh my God.
Here, I'll show you this actually, because I just did this.
Holy shit!
There's 2, 3, and then there's 4 over there. 7. Those are 4,800 lumens a piece.
Yeah, you're getting a
So,
tan.
in a 3-car garage, but they're all LEDs. So it's
Yeah.
it's only like 175 watts or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's so bright out here. I love it.
So we just had one of the offices switched out for LED, and one of the fixtures was out of sync. And dude, when you walked into that room and you moved your eyes from side to side, the lights turn off. It was the fucking trippiest thing. If you used your phone and you used the camera, like it was like flashing, like it was crazy. Like, so that I've heard that, because I was talking to the guy, and the higher end light fixtures that have LEDs in them are really good about that refresh, right, on the light. And some of the cheaper ones will have issues with that. Some people will complain about headaches and all this other crap.
Yeah.
But
I'm one of them.
So he's like, this is what happens. Obviously this one's bad. The thing in it was bad, so they're switching it out. But it was crazy because you could walk into the room and you kind of felt like something was weird, and then you went in and you like either shook your head or you moved your eyes really quickly. And I should have taken a video of it, because when you use the camera, that it was just all chopped up, and so it was really interesting to see that happening.
It trips me out a little bit with this many of them and this much brightness, because it's not like, I'm 42 years old, and for 42 of those years, you flip the switch and the light comes on, you flip the switch and the light goes off. Yes. And so it's jarring when all of a sudden it's not really, like, you flip the switch and the lights come on like a second later.
Yeah.
And you flip the switch off and the lights go off a second later.
Yep.
It's weird. It just messes with my head a little bit, because it's not the timing and the reaction that I expect.
Yeah. Well, it's not as bad as the CFLs in the cold.
Yeah.
You turn them bitches on, it's like dim. The warm up.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
And my shop used to be so dark, where I had these 3 LEDs in this single car stall. It used to be just one. Actually, when we moved in, it was one single bulb fixture. Mm-hmm. And I put ceiling fans in 2 of the bedrooms and took the 2 bulb fixtures that had been in those bedrooms and put those out here. So I went from 1 2 bulb fixture to these 3 huge LEDs. And it used to be so dark out here that if I was doing anything, I would actually hit the light on the garage door opener to get 2 more bulbs. Opener. Yeah. Because I just couldn't see shit. And now I almost feel like I have to wear sunglasses out here.
That's what happened. That's what happened to my lights. I only have 2 in that fan, and they are that bright. I only have 2. I mean, if I put all 4 in, it's like freaking daylight. They're great. Those are Samsung bulbs, I think. LED, I think 19 or 20 watt LEDs. One of those bulbs is plenty bright.
Yeah, LEDs are awesome. I fucking love them.
Some of them. So I bought a box, and actually I didn't buy it. Somebody else bought it. I bought a box of LED regular size light bulbs and put them over my my dining room table. And those some bitches, like, one of them crapped out in like a month. The other ones are like pulsing and like dying. I mean, clearly like flashing and jacking up. And they weren't cheap either, right? They were fucking expensive things.
What brand are they?
I don't know, some piece of shit brand apparently. I don't remember.
I've had really good luck with the Sylvanias.
Yeah.
Sylvania's solid.
And Lowe's quit carrying them. Home Depot quit carrying them. So the last ones I bought, Lowe's switched to all GE, and I think
Mhm.
Home Depot might have as well. But
Yeah.
so the last Sylvanias I got, I had to order them, but they have a really good color temperature. Their color temperatures are different than other companies,
Yeah.
and I think they're really nice. They're a nice white that's not that daylight fluorescent-y looking that makes you feel like you're in a prison.
Yeah. Or the ones that are just like so ultra white that like bleaches everything and everything looks weird.
Yeah.
Like blue light, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you change your
I was laughing at chat a minute ago. Rob says, "Welcome to Plumes of Overhead Lighting."
I'm gonna make everybody here change their mind about Sylvania though. I worked for Sylvania when I was 15.
Ooh.
16? 16. It was my senior internship at Sylvania. I checked light bulb bases.
And
I
you
was
were
going to say, were you
molested by your boss?
No, I just figured you working there was enough to make y'all not trust them anymore.
I was going to say, were you a master bulb skewer?
So this is what my day was, and I will tell you, this is why I went to college. Like, this is specifically why I decided.
He could not do like this.
I did a half day at high school, and then I went to the light bulb factory, which was like 150 degrees on the floor. They had 5 big bins of nothing like old, like normal socket bases. I pulled out 100 of them, 500 from each bin, 100 at a time, checked them, reported any like dents or problems with them, which bin it came from, and then went and updated a spreadsheet. That was my job. That's all I did.
That sounds awesome.
No first job.
It was not my first job, but it was like, that's the only time I've ever worked in a factory. Sorry, I was distracted prior because like I just got really good news about a conference that's happening next weekend that somebody just got me a ticket to, and they're impossible to get tickets to. So I'm very excited.
The screwdriver parts that I ordered come tomorrow.
We're talking about that?
Wait, are we talking about that live on the show? Yeah, we are live. We're live right now, live, like really live. There's like 3 people watching right now.
Why? It might be prudent to actually like introduce Chuff because
that's true.
It's been 5 years since he's been on the show.
Probably 3.5 at least.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest. We don't have any new viewers. Like everyone watching should know who Chuff is, but for those who don't, this man right here, this man's. You know that Chuff cap? That's him. And he was also part of our peanut gallery, which we still miss him from, don't we, Chuff?
Mm-hmm.
Sean just left.
Twisted for fucking understudy.
Maybe he's doing the 4.
I found what I was looking for. The Chuff cap.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh, you just got up and left, fucking twisted foreskin.
I went and got a Chuff cap.
Show the inside.
I don't know if this will actually show because I don't have any light settings. But
no, we see it. You just gotta focus. You just gotta focus. That's all you gotta do.
That was my favorite thing about that.
Because when it's unfocused, it looks like Daniel Boone.
I also went and got a Chuff cap.
There's like $50,000 in there right there.
Chuff caps.
So for anybody who's potentially interested, that's episode 23.
This is a box full of those.
Oh.
I didn't think you still had a box full of those.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I got some events from the Hangout. Like he had a whole series of the garage files.
Did you sell your Maserati to buy? Oh wait, no.
Sell my Maserati.
Wrong person.
I do also still have. Shit! I just saw it. Oh, here it is. Got my my computer sitting in a dark area there.
Oh,
that is a 510 to air gun adapter.
Yes.
Oh, and I remember you machined that bit yourself, right?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised I still have it, but.
Oh, do you have a Manhattan handy? Please tell me you do.
You never know when you need a 510 to
air gun
adapter. I'm not.
Here you go.
Not shooting a battery at my car though, so.
No, you shoot at your neighbor's cars.
There you go, right there. Ooh, baby, boil it. That's the way to do it right there. That's cooking with Chuff Award.
So for the person who referenced
That's hot.
you've lost the beard and weight, I can't say the weight, but isn't it amazing that when you lose the vaping industry, you lose like 50?
Yeah, I lost about 40 pounds. I did 4 triathlons last year. I've done a few half marathons. Supposed to do a half Ironman in May.
Amazing.
So I don't know. I mean, that's all down to vaping, obviously.
Wait, did you get scouted for endurance training from a cloud comp?
I did, yeah.
Like that boy's got the lungs of iron.
Horror's big question is whether or not he can get him a Narda. Can Chuff get me a Narda?
What the hell?
Why would I have anything to do with the Narda?
But we can't. But we always get asked if they could have ours or if we can get them one. But so it's like, oh, you're a guy. Maybe you can get us this thing.
You're asking Chuff the wrong question. The right question is, can he get you a screwdriver? The answer to that
is probably no. But
Yeah.
You were saying the other day that you wouldn't want to make very many of them, and then you mentioned on the show. I'm like,
I know that's a bad idea.
Duro, he didn't go CrossFit on us because he would have said that first thing when he came in. I do CrossFit.
Exactly.
That's what he would have done.
No CrossFit. Not ready to leave my wife for my personal trainer Rex yet. So
don't have a whole lot of tires that need flipped lately.
I was gonna say, if you were doing CrossFit, you'd be considerably more swole now, wouldn't you?
I don't know. I think I look pretty good.
No, I'm not saying you don't look good. I'm saying you'd be like this though. You're doing some
Like what?
Like what?
like this. Yeah, like this. You know, I called the mooch one effect.
Like this.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. No neck. There you go.
You shrink down by a couple of feet. You lose your neck. You know, it happens.
Yeah, I'd have to chop my legs off at the knees to get them.
I don't know. I think it's a little higher than that. You get some
Guy's
pretty
like-
long legs.
This guy's like a jockey. It's like a jockey that wants to wrestle with his horse.
Cut the water down, you bastard.
They gotta strap his legs down because they don't even make it halfway down the horse. Just like this.
My favorite pasty finger diagram.
Shut up. That's a screen cap. Oh no.
That's a screen cap.
Well,
it was just off the cuff funny, you know.
we don't want to keep you too late. I know it's past your bedtime, and you'll be probably.
He's been hanging. He's been hanging late, man. He's been hanging late.
I don't know. He does get up really fucking early to go running. So.
I haven't been swimming in the cold. I've been lazy this winter.
As you should be. It's hibernation season.
So I'm I need to get back at it, but fuck, it's hard to think about going and swimming in an outdoor pool when it's 45 degrees.
It's been that cold in the morning.
Well, you're fine in
yeah.
the water. Is when you get out.
I saw someone there.
The water's 85, but you
Yeah.
you still gotta like jump out in your Speedo and sprint to the locker room.
Yeah. You're fine in the water.
You risk losing your dick.
That's a screen
Yeah,
cap.
I mean, literally, you get there in the morning and there's steam coming off of the water because there's so much temperature differential, and you fucking run and jump in real quick. It's horrible, absolutely horrible.
Yeah. That sounds like something I want to be doing at 3 a.m.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, definitely not. I mean, so I haven't been in like 2 months,
Damn.
but
Not even for a soak.
not even for a soak.
Damn.
Duro, I actually thought about inviting Dean on, and I completely forgot. He said he's having a hard time getting a day one drip tip. Maybe Chuffy will make you one.
I mean, you can still message them.
Nope.
So I won't not forget my first trip to Vegas, showing up at Chuff's old shop and having a drip tip turned on site for me.
What's a D1 drip tip?
Day one.
Day one is a newer Addy.
Oh, what's a day one drip tip? What's a day one?
I don't know.
It's a newer Addy.
Uh,
The guys, some people made it.
We have another guest as well.
Oh.
Hello.
Hi, guys. Well,
Thank you, Chuff. Thank you for stopping by.
Thanks, pal.
Thank you.
thank you for 5 wonderful years.
Your sarcasm is warranted.
Great.
So I guess I'll go ahead and introduce our next guest. If anybody's unfamiliar, this is Alex Clark, and I want to make sure that I get this right because I just found out it changed. The CEO of Kassan.
Boom.
Nice.
He's Ironborn. He takes what's his.
Congratulations on that, by the way.
Thanks. It's been a year, over a year now.
Is that right?
Probably around that, yeah. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've talked to any of you guys, so happy to see you.
It's been a year since you were on, or a year since you were a CEO.
I've been the CEO for probably a little over a year.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, congratulations, really late.
Yeah,
I've been working.
LinkedIn page.
Shame on me for not knowing you're the CEO because I lurk and I click on all your posts on Facebook and shit. And I didn't put two and two together.
So if everybody can't tell, we're really, really good at staying in touch with people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've been following the man's and what he's been up to and what he everything he posts and such. I just don't comment because that's not how I roll because I like to start fights. So I just don't.
We can definitely catch up at some point, but what I wanted to get out of you from the very start is it's been a while. Tell us what's happening in vaping advocacy and vaping law. Like, what do people have to be worried about? What don't they? Let's.
So 2019 is going to be really challenging.
He sounds more like a CEO now.
I don't want to just give people a bunch of gray speak and leave it all ambiguous here, but we're looking at a democratically controlled House. All the usual suspects are going to be coming in with legislation. People may have seen Congresswoman DeLauro from Connecticut. She's introduced a bill. The language, the last I checked, is not available, but it's kind of an everything in the kitchen sink kind of bill for vaping. I have to go through my notes here to get it, but where are we at here? Hold on, give me a second.
Sure.
So, Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro, she is proposing, according to an article at WTNH.com, she's going to close the federal tax loophole. There's no loophole. It's just taxes aren't applied to vapor products. And kind of going through what the federal government taxes various tobacco products at. It's $1.06 a pack of cigarettes, $1.51 per pound on smokeless, which would be snuff or snus, 50 cents a pound on chewing tobacco. So that's kind of, if somebody starts talking about parity, those are the numbers to kind of look at. People may remember New Jersey, I think, might have been the first place to propose tax parity with cigarettes.
Yeah.
There's also stuff about restricting marketing to minors, and everybody is going to be going after flavors. And then probably the only really productive thing that she's likely proposing is age verification for internet sales, which you guys probably know, and a lot of other people probably know. There's been no final or draft guidance from FDA about online sales age verification. So people are just sort of trying to make it up as they go along and do the best they can, or do nothing at all.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's really that's something that falls at the feet of FDA. People have been screaming about that for years. FDA really should get on that. They had the opportunity to do it when they finalized the deeming rule, and just really haven't done anything except for issue warning letters to people that screw up.
Are you suggesting that the FDA doesn't like actually have like all this stuff, all the ducks in a row, and clear things and steps and rules on how to do everything? I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, not only do they not have their ducks in a row, they don't have the manpower to get the ducks and put them in a row.
Right. Yeah. There's just a herd of ducks wandering around, like just whatever.
You know what they're hoping happens? It's like, okay, so you can sit and figure this shit out as we go along, and we'll just hope that we can get it banned out right before we have to lay out any kind of guidance as to how you have to do this shit, because you'll be out of business.
Right.
Yeah, I guess, you know, following the original timeline, last year, everything should have been taken off the market that didn't have a PMTA pending. So originally, yeah, I guess somebody, you know, in Obama's FDA certainly looked at that and said, why bother? Because they're all going to be out of business soon anyway.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
We went through a little piece of that the last few months trying to get our e-liquid stuff.
Oh yeah,
back on the market. It was ludicrous. It was just crazy. Nobody knew what to do, and yet we knew what we kind of thought we needed to do, but not how to do it, and they didn't know how to do it. It was a pain.
So Sean had mentioned you guys kind of changed
manufacturing.
Yeah.
So we had to switch manufacturers.
That was a lot of fun.
I'm not going to pretend to like know how to walk you through that. So
no, it was crazy.
A way to go. I mean,
nobody did.
I think
including the Fed.
Bruce probably gave us some of the best advice on that.
Yeah. And we didn't end up using his contact actually, but he did give us some good guidance.
So let's talk flavor bans. Like what's the real skinny on the flavor ban stuff?
Well, you know, obviously people living in California have been seeing this for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the easiest low effort thing to do is to just ban the sale of anything that's not tobacco or mint or menthol. And
they tried menthol, right?
What's that?
They were trying to do menthol too.
Cigarettes too.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, menthol bans are that's the new dance craze. These people have sort of been, you know, lying in wait for the opportunity to do this.
Right.
Before the, leading up to, you know, all the conversations about the Tobacco Control Act, you know, involved banning menthol, obviously. So yeah, they've just been waiting for their opportunity to strike. And now that we're having this conversation about vapor, just why not throw it all in together?
Right.
So yeah, that's been spreading across California. You know,
what does that really mean for the vapor industry? Does that mean no flavors, period? Does that mean no flavors in C-stores?
Like I said before the show, I'm a glass 2/5 full kind of guy. So I have that little ray of hope that we're going to have some sort of constructive discussion about this. You know, both Gottlieb and Jerome Adams, the Surgeon General, have acknowledged the harm reduction potential of vapor products. And They keep coming back to, you know, yeah, harm reduction, but the kids. And, you know, the campaigners, the anti-everything campaigners, they're going to latch onto whatever fits on a bumper sticker and repeat that phrase over and over again. So flavors addict kids is what they've latched onto. And they are not at any point right now towards making a distinction between the various access points that kids have, which is online, specialty retail, and convenience stores.
Right.
I will never in a million years put my CASA hat on and say, we're all for taking certain products out of convenience stores. In reality, we're pretty disappointed with Juul and Altria for removing their vapor products from convenience stores. We stand by, you know, our position that smokers need to see these products in the same places where they buy cigarettes. But on a personal level, you know, when I bought my first e-cigarettes, it was a mint or fake tobacco, and I was a menthol smoker, so I went for the mint, and that was enough to convince me that these products would work for me. So, you know, I think there's some research that needs to be done about, you know, what products are people who smoke looking for in a convenience store. Are they going to be more inclined to try to go after that one-to-one?
So I can tell you firsthand that it's going to hurt people like my mom, who vapes a mango jewel, and that's all she uses, and that's what got her to quit smoking. And if the local sheets and tobacco stores don't have it anymore, it's going to be a big problem for her.
That's an excellent point. And, you know, and this is where I think, you know, I'm not going to quote their response, but Juul's response was they would allow for flavored products to come back into stores if they could demonstrate that they had a robust age verification, you know, protocol or technology in place, which to me, you know, I've said this on a radio program last week. I think Juul's response to all of this was probably the most comprehensive and thoughtful. Everybody else just made a few points like, we support Tobacco 21 and we're going to remove some products until the kid thing is solved. Juul actually outlined things that they intend to do, you know, leveraging contractual agreements, leveraging technology, and requiring retailers to actually demonstrate that they can, you know, ID people every step of the way and make sure they're not selling these things to kids. That's, you know, if it takes FDA regulation to get that done, fine. If Juul or any other company can step in and hold their retailers accountable, then that's also what should happen. So, you know, all of this is happening, and there certainly seems to be a pathway for, you know, manufacturers and retailers to work together to address the issue of youth access. Whether or not that's going to be enough for Matt Myers and the body parts, I don't know. Which, you know, by the way, you know, Matt Myers' campaign for tobacco-free kids and the body parts being, you know, cancer, heart, and lung. You know, they seem to be pulling the strings at FDA. They've got, you know, they've developed their arsenal over the years. They're the ones that are responsible for getting all of these stories, these horror stories about kids being addicted to Juul. They're the ones responsible for getting that front and center in the public's eye.
And the worst part about that, Alex, is these stories that they've gotten out there. The worst part is they've invented the word juuling, which is the worst thing to happen to vaping. I don't know how long.
That aside, vapors are eating up this bullshit too. I can't tell you how many posts I've seen in various vape groups I'm in crucifying Juul.
Oh yeah.
Like before, okay, they could have like gone on a fucking murdering spree, God knows what, right? But you know what they did that no other fucking company can claim? No one has helped more people quit smoking than that company alone.
And I'll tell you, man, that's the first time I've ever seen the vapor industry segmented over an issue like that. Never seen it before in the entire.
Enjoy was an early one.
I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, what I mean is like this is the biggest stage in which they've done it, and it's the least convenient for us.
So what you're really telling us, Alex, is that as long as the FDA stays shut down, everything's fine.
Okay, so no. Actually, I heard something earlier tonight. Apparently, the FDA runs out of funding in 5 weeks.
I mean, they're not even inspecting lettuce anymore.
Okay, but the difference—
they weren't in the first place.
The difference is that the Center for Tobacco Products is funded by user fees.
Yeah.
So there's a TIPSAC meeting happening on the 6th and 7th. Got to check my calendar. Yeah, the 6th and the 7th, there's a TIPSAC hearing at FDA, and I'll be there, I think. Yeah, that's still happening. So the doors are open, the lights are on at FDA for tobacco. Priorities, folks.
Hey, you're going to be in town again.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll actually see each other someday.
It's possible. I don't know. So my flight goes into Dulles, and then I have like an hour and a half on the metro.
That airport now.
What's that?
I live right next to that airport.
Dulles?
Yeah.
Oh, That's rad. Maybe I'll hit you up for a place to stay. Well, that takes an hour to get to Maryland from there.
No. I live in Virginia, right next to Dulles Airport.
He's moved
moved
since the last time we spoke.
Yeah, I know. I'm just working out the logistics from the airport to Maryland.
Yeah, I'm 15 minutes or less from the Dulles Airport.
Just go to Schuber.com. That's SeanUber.com.
I have way higher rates than normal Uber, but I do have a BMW, so it's okay.
And a white one at that.
Bro,
What's that?
can I vape in your car, bro?
Yeah.
Only if it's abolishment.
How about that? How about that story of the SWAT team bringing that dude a vape to calm
I
him
was
down?
gonna talk. I got that link right now.
That's technology. A robot brings you a vape so you can calm down and defuse the situation.
We've arrived in the future.
What if your vape is the cause of the tension?
I think they should have just taped it to the robot and made it look like you're vaping on the robot's dick.
It would have been perfect. Look, yeah. Police defuse gas station standoff by having robot deliver a vape pen.
I just need my goddamn custard.
But wait, do we know was it cannabis or was it nicotine?
I think it was Nick.
I think it was a Nick one, but
Yeah, it was. I think it was Nick because they said, I think part of it, they say, hey, if we can bring a water, food, or cigarettes to somebody, we'll do it. So good on the SWAT team for bringing them a vape instead of a cig.
Yeah. Here it is. So an initial request for a cigarette was denied due to the possibility he was covered in gasoline. The law enforcement later talked him into accepting a vape pen.
Harm reduction all around.
Can you imagine if they gave him?
This diffused the situation.
What if the mod? What if it was an IPV and he was covered in gasoline?
Hey, you screwed either way, buddy.
So same general vein of questioning, Alex, for the business owners out there who still watch. What does all this stuff mean for them? Is it time to invest in other things, or is it time to keep the lights on?
I'm not going to give anybody business advice. I think it depends on what you're doing. If you're seriously going after submitting a PMTA, I'm not going to give anybody predictions over that. If you're an industry stakeholder and you're on the level of retail, or even manufacturers and you're selling direct to consumer, or you have contracts with retailers, I think this whole youth access thing is a really important point for people to get engaged. And the industry really has an opportunity here to demonstrate that they're taking proactive measures to make sure that young people aren't getting their hands on these products. Time and again, this is what, if you're following Jerome Adams on Twitter at all, he has been faced with the kind of, at least, according to him, and I really think that he's sort of selectively honing in on a few people that have said things. There's a lot of radical voices on Twitter. So there are people who take things to the extreme, and when given the opportunity on Twitter, like all of us have, to confront a public official, they'll say things like, "There's no youth epidemic. It's just not happening. This and that." And he has looked at that and sort of grouped everybody into, as if we're all sort of youth access deniers, which is not true at all. Anybody who's been working on this issue for any number of years, we all realize that young people certainly are going to be attracted to these products. I started smoking regularly when I was 16 years old. Before that, I stole cigarettes from my dad when I was 13. So, whether it's cigarettes or vapor products or, banana peels, like I tried all that stuff before I was 18 years old.
How do you try a banana peel?
What's that?
How do you try a banana peel?
I don't remember the recipe. It was way more complicated and a lot more chemistry involved. And I got it in the Anarchist cookbook. So,
Oh, wait. 1 moment. Salam, FBI. Continue.
What, they sold it in a bookstore in New York City. Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't have it anymore.
Okay, Alex Ben Clark. Continue.
Look, we were all trying to make LSD in our mom's kitchens.
I was sitting there trying to whistle into the phone to get it to do something.
All of these little lights.
And then my dad came back and said, "That's a fucking digital phone, you idiot."
So I'd be interested in your take on one other thing too, Alex. So I was reading in kind of a Facebook grouping post the other day from a bunch of shop owners, and shop owners are relevant in this. What's your take on the fact that, you've got a bunch of people who have very strictly followed the letter of the law in this case? Like even with us, like we found another manufacturer, but we went through every legal channel to make that work. Change nothing, all that shit. Versus the people who are still putting out new product every other week. Like what kind of harm is that going to do?
I think there's probably a couple different ways to look at this. I got this question a year or two ago at an event, and my response was, clearly the person was leading to like, should we be ratting these people out to the FDA? And my response was, look, don't do FDA's work for them. I'm certainly not going to tell people to drop a dime on their competitor because they're bringing in new product, but I fully understand people's, I think, frustration with this.
Yeah, sure.
You followed the letter of the law, you're doing your best to comply, and there are these jokers out there that keep taking advantage of what is really FDA's inability to enforce the rule.
Right.
I feel like I've heard a really good answer to this and I forget it, so I apologize. I guess everybody kind of has to make their own judgment call on that. If you feel that, I think to some extent this is probably a matter, in a way it's a bit of self-defense. You have people that are acting irresponsibly and taking business away from you. We've got the race to the bottom in terms of people charging $9 for a 60 milliliter bottle of something. That has happened. I don't know if it's still going on.
It's still going on.
It's 9 or 120 these days.
Yeah. And from a consumer access point of view, we also have to look at kind of the what's happening in the short term and the long term. In the short term, we want people to have access to new products. There are new products that are safer, that are more enjoyable, that are more effective, that the rest of the world has access to. And there's no good reason why we shouldn't have those here. Long term is this argument that, people importing those products and selling them are giving the rest of the industry a bad name and are just going to, accelerate the timeline for everything being banned. Which, I think both are plausible, but
here's my argument. If those companies, for the most part, it is not just small companies, the industry would have folded by now if the creation of new products ceased altogether. Right? That's kind of what drives this industry.
Yeah, and always has, right?
It's just new shit coming out, like
grassroots.
Fucking Aspire putting out the Cletus 79 or whatever the fuck they're up to, and Smoke putting out another light up mod. Like, it's got to keep going. They're not going to fucking stop because we said no.
They have, those companies have the rest of the world to sell their products to, and if American importers, retailers, whoever want to get those products here, they're gonna find a way.
Yeah, and I'm not suggesting it's right or wrong, just interesting conversation topic.
Yeah. Ultimately we want the most responsible people in this industry. We want the best people putting that face on the industry. And I think, I don't want to see those people go out of business because they can't compete with their unethical neighbor or their neighbor that's ethics actually would be a different thing. They can't compete with their, the guy down the street who doesn't care about the FDA. I don't want that to happen. But, to get back to I misspoke about ethics, the ethics of the situation is that consumers really should have access to the best products.
Sure. Yeah. I've got a friend of mine that's got a product on the market, right? And he's in America, and his competitors, not only here but also around the world, keep iterating and keep making better and better cool stuff. And he would love to, but he feels like his hands are tied, and he can't put out any new hardware, which sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, he sees his business going downhill because of that, right? Because it's all he's got is this one product.
And it's, this is where that whole kind of, I guess, ideally the PMTA process is streamlined, which nobody is holding their breath for that to happen. But
that's for sure.
We've still got some time, and just no matter what we see in the media, time does seem to be on our side. There is a growing body of evidence about how much of a harm reduction potential these products have.
Yeah.
So as that, as these studies are published, as they are available in the literature, the argument in favor of making these products very accessible becomes stronger. So it'll take time, and again, it's impossible for me. I'm not a financial or market analyst or anything like that, so I can't offer business advice to somebody. But I think this may very well come down to the wire. We may be sitting here in August of 2021, saying oh my God, a skinny PMTA is just around the corner, and hopefully enough people last that long. Or if you are an engineer, if you're somebody who's developing innovative products, certainly this is something that the larger companies are going to want to be interested in. And I would say, I know that people have their very strong opinions about tobacco companies, but you saw what happened with Juul. I don't think that it's, that's not the last company they're going to purchase or look into purchasing a controlling stake. There is certainly a lot of room for innovation in the industry, and I think larger companies are going to be interested in what's coming down the pike, and they're the ones that are going to. We've been saying this since we knew that FDA was going to do all of this. We've been saying companies that are going to have the resources, and they're the ones that are going to be able to get through PMTA.
We've been saying it on the show for years. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Like their interests may not always align with ours, but they're much more closely aligned with ours than tobacco-free kids or anything else. Like the tobacco companies are not our number one problem or enemy. If anything, like, uniquely positioned to help us with a buttload of money.
And and people, and I think I've said this like maybe the past times I've been on your show is, watch the MRTP, the Modified Risk Tobacco Product hearings, and watch that process. We got Swedish Match in Copenhagen coming up. We had Camel Snus at the end of last year. That's a big part of this. And if a smokeless tobacco product cannot get through MRTP with an obviously true statement like switching to this product will reduce your chances of developing lung cancer, then the system is broken. But once somebody does get through that, they've blazed the trail for all of the other low risk product manufacturers to come through and go through these hoops. So,
all right. So a couple more for you that are relatively quick.
Sure.
Thing number one, what are you vaping on? We didn't even do that for ourselves yet.
Didn't you do it for ourselves?
Well, I didn't have my tin with me, but I got I'm currently snoozing. That's what I got left.
Yeah, boy.
It's a Thunder Raspberry.
That sounds really good. Can you toss me one?
I picked this up when I was in Richmond last from a Vail.
Ew.
It's waffles with butter and syrup.
Oh, wait. Is that the? Okay, is that I want to say I had a very similar flavor from a Vail, but it came out with a specific line. It was like 3 or 4 flavors, and it came in a purple wrap bottle. It's not called purple, is it?
No.
Okay.
It's Conjure.
And then, so you kind of gave everybody one, and that was to responsibly and professionally engage in the conversation on like Twitter and social media. keyword responsibly and professionally.
Yeah.
What other calls to action you got? Anything else that people should be doing if they haven't done it already?
Well, we are in. Always join CASA. Make sure your information is up to date. We just switched advocacy platforms, so I'm in the process of transferring our database over. So if you just Google join CASA, you'll get to a link with our new sign up form. Or if you're already a member, I'll transfer your information within the next day or two. And right now, we're just to drill down on some specifics. We're looking at a couple of Tobacco 21 bills in Washington State. I sent out an email today. Not quite sure if everybody got it, but it's out there. New York City is facing a flavor ban. New York State is facing Tobacco 21, potentially taxes, and something else. Governor Cuomo just put his inaugural State of the State address or something like that before the weekend. And I'm in New York now, so that's wonderful.
Oh, are you?
Yep. I'm on the complete opposite end of the state from you. I am.
Oh, you're in Western New York?
No. I'm in the North Country. I'm about 20 minutes from Canada.
You never made it to Alaska, huh?
Lake Champlain.
God damn.
Was it?
So you're not even in New York. You're basically Canada. That's where people kind of sound Midwesty, kind of Canadian.
Hold on.
They sound French. They're French Canadian.
Even worse. Even worse.
I could have sworn that you were supposed to be going to Alaska.
No, I don't. Why would I ever go?
I don't. For some reason, I have Alaska in my head.
That's very strange.
Why? Because his beard's gone gray?
No,
he's looking rustic at the moment.
Nice poster, by the way. I know.
Maybe it was upstate New York. I don't know. So join CASA, responsibly and professionally engage in the conversation and discussion. Don't tear each other the fuck apart like we always do. The floor is yours. Like, is there anything that you want to say on the night of our 5th year anniversary?
Oh, happy anniversary.
I mean, other than that,
I'm not going to lead you, but
but yeah, anything else that you want to get out there to people?
I think, we are continuing to collect testimonials from people. Testimonials, or whatever, just CASA testimonials. We'll Google it. That'll bring you there. Those are very important, and also to have those at the ready, because we're going to be asking people, I believe, to send a lot of messages and make a lot of phone calls this year. Not only do we have this bill from Deloro, we've got the Dick Durbin Murkowski bill, which is stupid and going after flavors. Really, the effort here is to try to make sure that Congress doesn't take this away from FDA. I know that may sound counterintuitive, but I can guarantee you the FDA has the protocol in place to have a more deliberative conversation about this than the highly politically charged environment of congressional committees. We expect to see some committee hearings coming up. I would not be surprised to see CEOs of leading vapor manufacturers and possibly tobacco companies dragged in front of Congress. So, getting as many people dialed in, again, join CASA, get your information updated, because we're probably going to be asking people to send a lot of messages and make a lot of phone calls. Also, considering that this is there's a comment opportunity right now that I think people could probably dial in on. It's called Eliminating Youth Access. Eliminating Youth Electronic Cigarette and OTP, other tobacco product use, the role for drug therapies. And, this is FDA looking into the possibility of developing things like children's Chantix.
Good.
Yeah. So, right now, as it stands, I don't know if any nicotine replacement therapies are specifically approved for youth use. I know that I think that at least college nurses and maybe some high school nurses have the authority to maybe prescribe NRT to cigarette addicted
Oh,
student?
college, yeah, college. I remember, like when I was in college, I was able to get nicotine patches and gum and shit, but it was all garbage. But
Yeah,
it was available. It just wasn't great quality shit.
exactly. Well, that's why we all
It also depends, because I know New York City has an initiative and they're funding a lot of these things, because I went to like a public like city university, so they were getting hooked up by whatever program the city had.
Let's start giving Shantex to middle schoolers and talk about the vaping epidemic.
They're giving them fucking. They're giving them Zoloft. What's the difference?
Yeah, I mean, this is the conversation that FDA wants to have. The meeting is on the 18th or 19th of January, and the comment period is open until February 2nd. And my thoughts were, I know that there are plenty of parents out there who have switched to vaping, and I think their voices in this conversation are probably way more important than they may be, being notified about. What kind of conversations are those parents having with their kids? What steps are they taking to make sure that their kids aren't accessing these products? And I think fairly importantly, what do they feel about the example that they've set for their kids, that they've quit smoking, they've made the responsible decision to use a smoke-free product, and what are those parents doing? I think FDA needs to hear that. I think the public needs to hear that. One of the things that we've argued all along is if you want to prevent kids from taking up cigarettes, tobacco, whatever, it's the parents who are going to lead that example. So, if you want to save the kids, you got to save the parents first. And so I think they have an opportunity to comment on this. And it's another thing that's available on regulations.gov, eliminating youth electronic cigarette and other tobacco product use, the role for drug therapy. There's a lot to try to put in there, but if you just search tobacco in there, I'm sure you'll find it.
Cool. And then lastly, I got to talking to Alex prior to coming on the show tonight, and I did want to announce one thing. He's been kind enough to sponsor a giveaway for the evening.
Have I?
For the next forever, in honor of our 5-year anniversary, he's going to be giving out an unlimited number of free CASA memberships. You just have to go sign up.
Just say Plumes sent you.
I am.
Hey, Alex, Addy Tooney in chat said, "Hey, is that K-Fund from the Pittsburgh, Kevin Skipper's Pittsburgh Con ready for a recoil yet?" I guess he gave you a coil.
Yeah. I have been using it a lot lately. I got tired of rebuilding it, but here it is.
I guess that's yes. Yes, it is.
Alex,
Well, I switched to. I've officially become one of those, like, am I a micro ohmer now? I got one of those Aspire. Is it the Cletus? Whatever the hell it is.
I call it the. I mean, a few other people call it the Cletus. I think it's the Cleto or Clitoris. Or...
Yeah. It's the first time in my life I've been satisfied by 12 milligrams. So I'm rocking that now, and I don't have to rebuild anything. So that's nice.
Which is great.
well, Alex, thank you for coming on and giving an update. It's been too long, and we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, glad to see you guys. I don't pay attention to these shows.
Oh, I quit a long time ago. I'm just here.
Nobody else does either. It's fine.
I mean, I'm glad to see you guys again. And
Right on, dude.
if this is if this is going to continue to be a regular thing, feel free to ping me. And
we should figure out like a monthly advocacy update from Alex segment.
Yeah, I mean, we're in an odd numbered year, so. This is going to be the year where a bunch of really shitty legislation gets introduced, and we'll have lots to talk about.
Yeah.
We should definitely talk about doing that then.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much for coming on.
Cool. Thanks. Happy anniversary.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, man.
See ya.
Thank you.
Hey, I was going to talk about this, Schwan. Let's share my screen.
I actually have a couple things to talk about tonight too.
Oh, good. Hey, this is
That's what I'm going to talk about. Damn it!
Oh no, I was gonna say, hey, do you want to just go ahead and talk
First of
about
all, I timed him coming in fucking perfect, by the way.
I'm totally wearing mine right now.
Yeah, I know. That's what I figured I'd at least bring it up, and you could say because you found the link, so I was going to give you the credit.
So I was going to do a hat review tonight for anybody who wants to look like me or Angsty. That company, Boston Scally Co. The only kind of hat they make is the kind of hats that me and Angsty have worn for the past 5 years. They make an exceptionally nice hat. I picked one up. I think, Brian, you picked one up as well. You're still waiting for yours. Mine got here on Saturday.
Yeah, let's go this week.
It's a little warm in my house right now because this is like a full wool cap. So it is a little warm in here, but it's really nice outside. You got the cotton one.
Yeah, I got a cotton one.
But super impressed with the quality and make of these hats. So if you wear this kind of hat, I strongly recommend checking out that company. It's Boston Scally.
I'm looking forward to mine. I've been wearing this one in particular for quite some time, and it's seen better days at this point.
Well, that's my white one. Like my white one's yellow at this point.
Yeah.
I'm wearing it that long, so like it's nice to have a new hat, and it's so hard to find hats like this that fit right. That like
it is
right. So like, super happy about that.
I'm gonna do a swap hair review of Senor Massive Blast 09 over here.
We have another.
We don't need no hat.
So Ahmed, I'll let you take this one over.
Mass don't need no hat. See?
No.
Look at that hair. Boom.
Boom. It's fine.
Anyway, our next guest. I'm not going to make the joke.
Did you just get pea-shy?
What?
Did you just get pea-shy?
No. I was going to make a joke at Cisco, but I'm not going to make it.
Yeah, because he's going to destroy you if you do. You know that.
He knows all right. Let me can drive the fuck over here if he wants. Just bring me a coffee on the way.
That's what I'm saying. He's going to come over there and slap
I'll bring you a coffee.
Oh, no. It is Senor Cisco of Cisco Design Spec.
Cisco Design Spec.
Fucking, HH 357 came into my head for like a second. And not the 357, the fuck did you call your shit?
What?
His dripping cardos.
Just stay quiet, Cisco. He just keeps digging deeper and deeper.
So Cisco completely didn't even know what was going on. Old Rob Key was over here just talking about the old TV too.
So what I did not realize is not only is tonight our 5-year, but it's also 250 episodes.
Yeah.
It kind of lined up really nice now, didn't it?
Yeah, that's cool as shit.
That's why we took off those 2 weeks intentionally.
Yeah.
Well, congrats on 5 years, guys.
Thank
you.
It's been a minute. How you doing, buddy?
All right.
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Not bad.
We're as awkward as ever if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, pretty much. I noticed. So what's going on? So now that I'm here, what do you want?
Oh, we're kind of drawn back to the glory days. And last week we did a little bit of that like soliloquy of the old days of vaping and figured it's our 5 years, so we do it a little bit more. And what better person to have than like Cisco?
Right.
Talking back to the old days of vaping. Before
Old school. Back in the days, black and white.
Yeah. Best he's still got a brand new HH357 that he's saving.
For what? For when he can't use it anymore? Like we can't buy them anymore?
That's coming soon.
Before we go back, like what have you been doing lately?
Nothing.
Nothing?
In the industry, not a thing.
Still doing Avid or?
Yeah, it's still, up, still selling whatever we got.
But
how does it feel to be like not as involved and shit?
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
He's also one of the responsible guys who's not just going out and making a bunch of shit, right?
Yeah. I mean, I have a bunch of shit that I could make, and it's legit. Pre 8.8 documented and everything, but I don't know. I fight with myself about it. So I don't know.
You're not alone in that.
It's just nice to be doing nothing.
No, not really. I am doing stuff in the background. I do a lot of CAD work and design work for other people.
Yeah.
A couple of Chinese manufacturers as well. Just, that's kind of where I like. But as far as, being out there and in this enthusiast area, no, I don't like vaping. I don't like what it's become anymore.
Yeah.
I just can't. It's disgusting.
I'm with you. Did I see something a couple of months ago though about them trying to get another VaporCon together or something down in Richmond?
They were garnering interest, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't think it got past an
The
idea.
interest part.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Those are the days I miss, like when that was the show.
Yeah, that was fun. Those were good
Yeah.
times.
They were good
It
times.
was.
We've got a guy from Berlin in chat right now. Tomas said that Cisco Spec 306 from 2012 is what helped him start to vape.
All right,
Nice.
awesome. That's what it's all about, right?
That's right.
That's what it should still stay all about.
All right, so one guy bought some. That's great.
Actually, I was talking to Robert P., who's been a regular viewer of ours for a while, who makes some very fine coils that me, Angsty, endorse very heavily. He bought a Velocity from you last week.
Oh.
He got it. He never. So he was never. I don't think he never ever wanted to like pull the trigger on the V1. And he finally said, "Fuck it." He bought one, and he loves it.
Awesome.
And so
I moved. I'm sure I still have a Marquise somewhere.
he threw the BF pin in his, and he's like, basically like all the things I told him when I got mine at the then with the AFC and all that. So I'm glad that someone still is like amazed by that ad. I like it.
Well, if I remember correctly, it was either last year or the year before. I believe Avid Vapor won a Best Addy Plumes Award too.
A what?
Tied for one anyway.
For what?
The Velocity. It got an award from us the year it came out.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Thank you. Where's my prize?
We made a picture.
Right there. Thumbs up.
Yeah. Awesome.
And I was
Yeah,
a Marquis fan for a long time. I still like the Marquis. I just don't know where mine went. But I do like it.
Yeah, I like it too. The
So
Velocity I never used.
are you still vaping these days? Or
Yeah.
So
Zero Nick.
Oh, yeah, you're a zero man now.
I'm still using a Tobacco Super Tank. God,
Oh, yeah?
I don't even know how old that is. 5 years. 5 years.
can you still get coils for it?
Yeah. I use the 1.8 Canthal because I'm a mount to long. I don't direct long or blow clouds. So, like I said, I never used the Velocity ever.
That was one of the critiques that I had of it. Is unfortunately it had just way too much air for me. It was so cool though.
The amount that you could cut it down was kind of astonishing from what it is wide the fuck open. And
It definitely had the widest range of airflow.
Yeah.
And
But as
but it
far
was
as-
concise though. Like if you threaded it down a smidge, you could feel it. You thread it down. It was more than anything. It's like I like an accurate AFC, and there's only maybe 4 or 5 atomizers that have ever come out that I think have a proper airflow control.
I mean, I see a lot of stuff that's come out in the past year, and it just seems overly complicated for no reason, just to be overly complicated.
It's overly complicated so they can get by saying it's not the same as something else. We
Right.
just made it more overly complicated.
I usually I'll look at something and I'll just be like, why?
Yeah.
That's an interesting concept, though, because even with the stall in prices and stuff, or even with the stall in manufacturing because of regulations, and not that that's slowed much down, what else is there really left to do? Like, what hasn't really been done in some way, shape, or form at this point?
Pairing soda and e-liquid.
No, that's a thing, isn't it?
Cheesecake and pickles?
Yeah, cheesecake.
I saw a thing about that.
Yeah, that's why I was joking, because somebody just did it because it doesn't make any sense, but just to do it because nobody's done it yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it was I don't know. There's something about the discovery of vaping that I miss too. The mesh to eco wool to cotton to everybody was figuring this shit out together. Like now what's left to figure out.
Before vaping, I was very heavily involved in playing StarCraft, and I feel the same way because the game came out in 2010, StarCraft 2, and played a lot.
Mm-hmm.
More than I care to admit. Got really high up on the ladder, this, that, and I stopped playing for a while. And I got back into it like 5 months ago, and since like the community has heavily consolidated, not as much money, like it's declined pretty heavily.
Right.
The game's great now, but the scene sucks. Like in terms of competitive balance, everything I wanted about the game is where it is now, but I couldn't give two shits about the people involved.
Well, and like the thing with vaping too, that Cisco kind of touched on is, overly complicated because you got two options. You either make it seem like this is new, even though it's just retooled to make it seem new, or you don't make anything, or or you're not making anything, or you're just not giving a shit and just still releasing stuff. Which
make it exactly like everything.
Plenty of your people are doing that. Like for example, you got. And I don't know this exactly for a fact, but you got Yeehee that's got a squonker that's this big. Why? You're going down to this size. Why are we going backwards? And just just crazy stuff like that. So and you see new atomizers coming out, and you see new mods coming out, and and you also see something you're like kind of like, wait, isn't that atomizer like this one? Yeah, it is. We just moved the screws over to the other side and made them flatheads instead of Phillips. Whoa! New product. Vapes hits harder than 10 trucks. So
I mean, as the industry is amazing now as far as what's available for people who smoke and want to check out vaping. I mean, if you can't find something that works and quit, man, you're not ready.
It also has somewhat the opposite effect though, where it's so fucking overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like, I walked into a vape shop with a kid who was smoking that I worked with, and I was going to guide him into vaping because he wanted to try it. And just the stuff there, and I've been out of this for a while. Like, it's fucking overwhelming. Like, where do you start with a person? And you have to really hope the guy at that shop knows his product and knows where to start a person.
You start them out with a 200-watt mod and an RDA. So blow their face off.
Yeah.
I can't imagine walking into a vape shop with all that gear. I mean, compared to what it was when I started, which was pathetic.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, when I started, it was 5 different varieties of Ego pens and like a Z-Max and Provari. So your options were, you could get an Ego, you could get a Cigalike, or you could get a big mod, and they were basic. Those were your 3. That's all.
When I started, the option was a Cigalike, and that was it. Yep. It's what color did you want to buy? Because they all sucked.
Yeah, and they were all terrible.
They all sucked.
That's what kept me out of vaping. I tried 3 or 4 times before it finally stuck.
I quit for 3 months on a Cigalike.
Did you?
Back, yep.
And then you went back
on a Volt, and then I went back because I started dating a girl who smoked my brand,
right?
Which was a mistake. Went back to smoking about 1.5 years, 2 years later. I said, let's try this again, and that's when I found like the big ass fucking mods, and I'm like, this shit kind of works.
Yeah, you really had to put a lot of effort in the beginning if you wanted to quit.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, I quit. Shit, it's over 10 years ago now.
I was gonna say it has to have been a while because we're probably sitting around 6.5 to 7 for most of that.
But I bought a Cigalike kit. I think I had to get it from Russia because there was no way to get it around here.
Yeah,
and it sort of worked. I kind of liked it, and then I said, you know what? Tomorrow morning, I'm only going to take these to work, and I'm going to see if I can do it. And it was a struggle, but that was the last cigarette I ever smoked. I never went back.
Yeah.
And now I vape zero, Nick. I only vape because the hand to mouth thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like dicks, so I'm going to vape. So
like someone's going to make that joke. Or you say.
So speaking of dicks, Sean, that I was going to cover on too was, you're talking about, people being overwhelmed and stuff. But I also think it can be easier for them if they don't have to go into a vape shop to get something, a setup that's going to be good. I think, by just going to a gas station, I mean, going to a Walgreens, it's just,
and we talked about this a little bit earlier. Polarizing it not, Juul was probably the best thing to happen to tobacco harm reduction ever.
Totally. Yeah.
That is a really good product that has gotten a lot of people to not smoke.
Well, I heard you before. They probably are the company that's, had the most people quit smoking using their product ever.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was telling Alex Clark before, just because Juul was the biggest company and they, very quietly took 70% of the market.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, fuck Juul, this, that. Like, yeah, they're taking the brunt of this for us, buddy.
It's loss of the fucking point. Like, the point has always been to not smoke.
Right.
If they've gotten more people to not smoke than everything else in vaping combined, fucking kudos to them, man.
Mm-hmm. They're laughing all the way to the bank.
And, and if that existed when I quit smoking, that probably would have been all I used.
Yeah.
Likewise, I'd probably still be using that now.
And that whole, juuling with minors. I don't know about you guys, but it is a legitimate epidemic. It really is. I got 2 kids in school, and 60% of the kids in these schools are using Juuls.
Yeah,
constantly. I mean, it is insane. Even if it's not that much somewhere else, it's an epidemic is not the wrong word. It is the wrong word for us, but
sure,
right.
It's a problem. My brother's a high school teacher in the city, and I think I mentioned this before. Like, he confiscated a bunch his first 2 weeks. This is only his second year there, third year there, and he was just like, I take him away, and they just go out and buy new ones from wherever the fuck they got the first one. It's like, how much of my lesson plan am I going to disrupt for their stupid asses? If they don't want to learn, they don't want to fucking learn.
But that was the thing. To Alex's point, it's stupid for us to try to say that there's not a problem. It's better for us to admit that there's a problem and be responsible adults and try to fucking fix it.
And making noise about it doesn't make anything better.
There is no responsible.
The finger at them and...
There's no responsible adults in vaping. Come on, you fucking nuts.
Responsible adults in vaping end up in South Park.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Oh my god. But I don't know. It's insane. Like when you listen to the anti-smoking organizations, the way that they talk about us and use these words that are insane. It's the same way we talk about them, in the opposite way. It's so hypocritical. This whole industry is just hypocritical on every level. Yeah. But I don't know. Listen, the more products, the more places they're available to be purchased, the better it is.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously kids are going to get their hands on it one way or another, no matter what they do.
Everything with cigarettes, right? Same thing.
Yep. And we're they're in denial about kids being... Actually, no, I feel like they know, but this is just such an easy fucking point to drive home because it's worked in decades past.
We make it very easy for them to shit on us. Mm-hmm. Really, really easy every day. Just scroll through social media and you could just a plethora of shit that you can, it's easy. I mean, there's a lot of great people in the industry, but there's a lot of douchebags that are very much more vocal, I mean, the whole cloud thing, man, I never understood that. Actually, building coils, I never got. I still don't got it. I still don't get it. What the fuck would you spend all that time when you can just buy something and use it?
I get the building coils thing, but I'm going to change my mind on that, and I am going to talk about that later. But, like, I never got the cloud thing either. So, Cisco, did I ever tell you that I judged a couple cloud competitions in my day?
I got to go now.
It's the weirdest thing in the world to judge a cloud competition when everybody there knew that I fucking hated them. Because they'd give me a microphone and I'd like be announcing for this cloud comp, and these two guys would go back to back and they'd blow a cloud, and I'd be like, that guy just blew a slightly bigger cloud than that guy.
Right.
You were still mouth alone when you were doing one of those, I think.
That guy is a much bigger douchebag than the other douchebag. Wow.
That's basically what I did. And
look how far he bent forward to get that cloud out. Wow.
This guy
a true display of athleticism.
That guy has some amazing hip action.
He'll be voted first team All-Pro.
Olympic sport.
That sucked though.
It's like when I watch somebody like cloud comp videos of guys, I'm embarrassed. I am totally like,
dude, like me and my siblings, I have 4 siblings and we have a group chat. And so guess how many of them are posting like vape memes the last like few years, and a few of them were bad, and then the rest I'm just like,
yep.
Yeah.
I can't defend this. Like, I go to the worst shops and do this shit.
here's the worst thing. January 14th, 2019, and the cloud competitions are even more ridiculous and bigger. Look, my local shops, like every freaking shop around here still does them. They're paying out, $500, $600. Yeah, I'm like, who the fuck goes to these things? You know?
I went to
I honestly didn't know those were still happening. Like that was still.
Oh, yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Yeah. They're fucking bigger than they've ever been right now.
Are they really?
Yeah, I mean, here's what I'll say. They're not. It's not like everyone's using them, but there are a lot more people using them now than I would have expected there to be.
It faded away for a little while, though, didn't it?
It did.
It did. But now,
the competition.
Competition. Yeah.
It kept it alive.
I went to a grand opening in Queens a couple of years ago, and
which shop was this?
I went with City Vape.
Oh, okay.
Spiro.
Yeah.
So we get there. When we get there, there's 6 fire trucks out front.
This was after I left. I left early, but yeah.
Everybody was. It was just a big mess, and then me and Dino were outside, and you couldn't even. There was a guy that had his hand on the door. You could see his arm. That's how cloudy it was, and you couldn't even see his head. Dude. So we go to open the door, and he like holds back, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" And he cracks up and he goes, "Dude, we got a cloud comp. If you open the door, it's going to create wind, and I can't open the door till they're done, with their session or whatever." I told him, "Let's get the fuck out of here. This is stupid," and we left.
I honestly thought that when Kurt started making T-shirts, cloud comps died with him.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Just ridiculous.
Funnily enough, so I was at. Do you remember that wonderful con in Jersey, Cisco, that got shut down halfway, like someday, one of the days? So I was there that day. We left before that all happened. That same day, there was a grand opening cloud comp at the Carter. They opened up like their second or third location.
Right.
So we go there because we're just like, all right, fuck it. Like we have the rest of the day to ourselves when we get there. And hey, it was during the summer and it was fucking hot. Like it was not a great day to be just hanging outside. We get to the shop, parking lot's maxed. We just go within like 20 feet of the door and we just look and we just see people bleeding out of it. And we're just like, no. We straight up had like a separate party outside the shop where it was actually much cooler than it was inside. I walked in the shop. I didn't walk inside the shop until 5 hours later.
Yeah,
we were hanging outside the whole time, and I'm like, "Fuck!" It's just like let's. It's like taking like a hot, like fat, sweaty person and putting him like in a box and shaking it for several hours, right? And then you open it up, like, that's a cloud comp. It's just like let's just stew in our own fucking.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it.
It's like an athletic Smash Brothers tournament almost.
No, cloud comps are nothing like anything. They're just beyond ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's guys that vaping has become their lifestyle. And they actually, you can win like cash and mods and shit. Yeah. So, I mean, listen, it's cool. I don't have a problem with someone who does it. I just don't get it. And I'm not going to.
The people who legitimately hustle it and win money and mods and shit and flip the mods, like, that's how you're supposed to. Micah used to do that.
Before vaping, I was in a band. And one of the other guys in this band was one of those kind of like get rich quick guys, right?
Right.
We had a falling out. Years later, he makes a post on Facebook. Plumes is already well underway. At that point, honestly, we're probably at like the peak of our popularity. And he's like
12 people watching.
More about this vaping thing. Yeah, like 12 people watching, right? He goes, I'm trying to learn more about this vaping thing. Anybody have anything to say? So I sent him a message and I met up with him at a shop. He's like, oh yeah, I'm really interested in getting into competitive vaping. And I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, I'm going to start a cloud team. And like, that's how I'm going to make a bunch of money. I'm like, huh?
Like, if he said esport team, you'd have been like, okay, cool.
I told him. And I'm like, dude, I want you to know, first off, there's like 5 cloud teams in this area. Secondly, they don't make a lot of money. Thirdly, like there's not a lot of, as somebody who's like in this has 2 product lines, like there's not a lot of money to be fucking made in vaping, especially on the entertainment side of it.
I used to get the emails, about supporting some fucking cloud group. Yep. Supply us all velocities. Says, yeah, no problem. They're $115 a piece.
Be my sponsor. You should sponsor me, and I'll use your shit. I'll talk. Yeah.
Oh, exactly. Dude, Eric shared some cringy ass DMs you get on Instagram from like cloud
Yeah.
people where Phil and
I'll post pictures. Let me sponsor you. Send me stuff. Like that shit is always
Mhm.
But like, I got fed up when the lifestyle thing took. I still remember where I was. I was at fucking Vape Showcase in Texas. I remember talking to Angsty about this at a fucking Toys R Us.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about like, dude, I don't feel like I fit here anymore.
No.
None of us did. It was super awkward.
It was, man. I just felt so out of place. Like, when did this become like a bunch of people who are friends meeting up to bullshit and like this lifestyle, booth babe, cloud comp?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I went to a showcase in Pittsburgh.
I was at that one. We hung
Yeah,
out.
yeah, and it was, I felt out of place. I mean, first of all, I'm about 30 years older than most of the people that were there, but I just didn't get anything that was going on, and people paying $7,000 for a mod that does the same thing the $15 mod does, because some guy, hand carved it, some whatever. I don't get any of
I
that
still
either.
like my nice shit.
Yeah, I know you do. You're a fucking nutbag with that shit.
I mean, admittedly, not so much in the last year and a half to 2 years because I haven't bought anything.
Right.
But for a while,
That's because you have everything. So what's there to buy?
I don't. I have very little left anymore. Like, I got,
Oh, really? You
like,
sold it all?
I have 4 mods. That's it. Like, I never kept much, but like I've vaped the same thing consistently for over a year and a half, and I'm good with that. Like, I like what I'm vaping. I found that thing, whatever that thing is that I was chasing, and I don't know if it was a matter of time, like I just got fed up of chasing, or I actually found the thing.
you said you got fed up with chafing?
With chasing.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I've been fed up with chafing for years, but
Chafing does get me fed up, though. Like, that's a thing. But like, and I don't know what cosmic force brought me to that point, but like, I was fucking done.
Yeah, it's weird. This is my current setup right there.
nice.
Yeah, look at that thing.
Like it.
What the hell is that?
Is that a triangular spinner?
Yeah, it's got a triangle. Fucking. It's a prototype. It's a piece of shit.
All right. So, anything else you want to share with everybody?
Like, help me out here.
I mean,
Velocity V2, $59, haveitVapor.com.
There you go.
that is still exist.
Boom. If you were too fucking cheap to buy it when it was $100, this is your chance.
There you go.
Seriously.
And it comes with a squonk pin. You don't got to buy that shit separate.
Ooh,
Boom.
nice.
Just getting.
Go try one out. Thank Robert Key for giving me this information.
Yeah, we have a couple hundred left from the last run. Just whatever.
Chilling.
Just chilling. But there's a lot of people still use them. So
It's a good addy.
Yeah, atomizer, man.
Just get out.
plus we have an awesome warranty, dude, because they're warranted for life.
Yeah. For me, I could just drive like 8 minutes and.
No, you're not allowed in my town, dude.
What are you talking about? I'm in your town all the fucking time.
We're putting up a wall, keep out people like you.
Cool.
You
You
better
can't,
stop
even, you can't
playing.
even put up a fucking wall at the Home Depot.
Yeah, it's I mean, yeah, I'm not really involved anymore. I don't kind of like what vaping is, so nothing interests me.
Because like outside of the show and the Facebook group and such, and the handful of people I still talk to, like I don't go to I haven't been to a meet in a while. Like there are a couple of shows maybe I'll go to. Like I'm thinking about going to Foxwoods just to hang out for the day. Because
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go just to hang out for the day.
yeah, I'm thinking about that. And then otherwise, like I'm like I don't work because like you're not working in the business so much anymore. Like your business has like a minimum amount to like keep it going, and I'm not working in the industry anymore, and so it's like
Right.
I can relax now and make fun of myself and others. I mean, I was doing that anyway, but I can do it more.
Nice.
Yeah, I went to what was it, Mohegan Sun, the last one?
Foxwoods.
Was it? Or the new ones? The next one is at Mohegan Sun, I think,
Oh.
in March.
Cool,
So
cool.
I'm probably gonna go up there for a day.
So Matt, you ready to roll on that?
I am.
All right.
Oh,
So
shit.
let's go. As always, involved or not, we're always pleased to have you come on the show.
Awesome.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having me on, guys.
Nice, let's
Thanks,
go.
man.
Thanks for coming, man.
No problem. You
Have
guys,
a good one.
Congrats on the
man.
5 years, and maybe I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, man.
All
right, man.
Take care. Have a good night.
You too.
Later.
Take care.
Good best. This is that video we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. So should we tell people before we play it?
Just play it.
Okay.
You can remember.
All right. Here we go.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hi, I'm Chewbacca. Welcome to the Plumes of Hazard.
Buscando y hoy.
And now live from, well, some banana boat somewhere, Felipe Buscando.
Buenos días, muchachos. Me llamo Felipe Buscando y hoy vamos a estar hablando de. What am I doing? This wrong show. Hang on, y'all.
It's
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dr.
Hi, Dr.
Fu.
Fu.
Hi, Dr. Fu.
What's up?
Did you go to Hollywood Upstairs Medical School too? I forgot about that one.
I remember this one.
Oh, hey guys, I think we're live.
Shut the fuck up. I'm still coming my shit. Oh, hello there. Welcome to Plumes of Hazard, episode 7. Sleep another day. Just so we get this off everyone's backs, I guess our own. We probably, out of all the show planning we did, we spent the most time at coming up for a name for this episode of everything. So we thought we'd share some of our rough ideas. Juicy galore, octo juicy, the juice is not enough, golden juice. Who the fuck came up with that one?
Juicy. I don't know.
Nick
Sean.
I didn't come up with that one.
This is Vapor's voice, a little different than normal.
And Plumes of Hazard, a little different too.
Yeah.
So we're doing both shows at once, one hangout. It's kind of like 2 girls, 1 cup, but not as disgusting.
And with yogurt.
Not it. Not the cup.
Oh,
I'm feeling a little ill suddenly.
Up.
How long is this video?
I don't know. I'm just trying to skip around.
Rip Google effects. Rip Google effects.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the crowd goes wild.
Welcome, everybody. Bum ba 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 bum bum ba ba bum bum ba 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 bum bum ba ba bum ba. Ba ba bum 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 ba bum 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 ba bum
How many verses are we doing?
I'm okay with some clapping. How are you guys doing tonight?
What's up? Welcome to the Plumes of Hazard and our epic intro.
finger licks, though, isn't it?
I love the finger lick.
Oh.
Puff Cheetos, that's my weakness.
So I go up to the guy from AmeriVape.
This one was so
I'm
good.
like, yo, a lot of shit going on in this industry, man. Would you mind if I vented to you about it?
Stupidest.
Deal with it.
Oh my God.
We're starting the show like this. What up? What up? What up? What?
That's
what up?
right,
What up?
motherfuckers. We're live right now.
What up, Josh? What up? What up? What up, Josh? What up, Josh? What up?
What up, Josh?
What up, Josh?
Really low standards. That Damien
Ohms or ohms?
watch things low.
Senor Muchacho Grande with, is he, let's see. No, he hasn't shaved it off yet. Whatever, understudy 77. When we go live. Oh, you guys are, I'm not gonna do it! You guys suck playing tricks on me. You never told me. Thanks. That's Blast 09. Welcome, everybody. Mi nombre es...
Million deadpan ever.
What the hell is going on? That's not...
Dude.
Hi, everybody.
Right. Dude, I think there's sunspots. There must be sunspots. Google screwed up. Look, my freaking overlay's gone again.
I never put mine up, dude. I'm way ahead of you.
Dude,
I put mine up. I'm
I'm
not recording again.
So to continue the
I'm still frozen!
Come in on a different account, dude.
Oh man.
Good morning. To me,
It's
we
too
have
long.
too long.
fuck you.
Oh, all right. Well, if it's too long, let's fucking play it again.
All right.
Fuck it, we're doing it live.
All right, that's it. That's the end of that. Wow.
We had
What a
intros, not two, because I forgot about that other blue one in the middle before Danielle made stuff for us.
yeah. Yep. That was pretty amazing.
And there was still probably half of that video left.
Oh my god!
Dude,
yeah.
I forgot about that venting joke I made. That was so terrible. That was funnier the second time around. Shit.
Like, we should put that video on YouTube because it's 28 minutes long. If anybody really wants to watch the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, we should. We should. I mean, Biggle's rap was like literally 7 minutes of him rap.
Jay, you missed the
Yeah, you want to
beatbox intro.
You want to beatbox a little bit for us?
Nah, the baby's sleeping in the room right next to me. It's a different world, boys. You just hear they're like crying for the hook from the outside. Oh my god.
Was that episode 2?
Yeah, I think
It was early. It was early.
So that was about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
That was almost too hype.
You went on for a good like 3 minutes.
Yeah,
That was all crabby, wasn't it?
Can we? I
Wasn't that
was just
heavy?
gonna say, can we acknowledge the icon that I was using for that?
Yeah,
That's what we're talking about.
I'm pretty sure that says Le Duke. Oh, I'm still friends with him.
That's great. Yeah, that's great.
Hey, boys, doing? Happy anniversary.
Thank you, Boo. How you doing?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh my god, my life is over.
Oh yeah.
If it's any consolation, it gets both better and worse in a couple of years.
That's my understanding. I'm just waiting it out, man. I'm just doing my best. It's
Like,
just,
it's great when they don't cry all the time, but then they can also walk, climb, and move.
yeah.
That brings a whole other host of problems.
We're there.
I just hit restart on my life, buddy.
That's that whole other host of problems.
3 fucking years gone by, and then
How you doing, man?
it's all right.
Yeah, I know how the first couple weeks go. At least you knew what to expect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for now, it's the he's got a boy.
Yeah.
You have a boy, and the boy's like a normal sized baby because your first baby was
Yeah.
he's born in
was
hospital.
a toddler. Yeah. So yeah, it's a whole new world with a fire hose.
Yeah, dangle donger.
Every bit of it gets so weird, like, because now I'm at that point where, like, I spent that first 3 years like, oh god, I want time to myself, and now she's in preschool 3 days a week, and I'm like, oh god, I miss my kid.
Yeah. I can see Matt's going into the changing room like fucking parka and like ski goggles on, just like while he figures this shit out.
Like it's a 90s rap video with the ski.
Yo,
it's
I
all
kid
about
you not. I went in with the riot shield and tried to hold that shit
Just
back.
a little hole in there, and you're just like looking.
It's like
I'm using a Da Vinci robot to change it.
Just saying, it's like when you had water fights back in the day, you use your trash can lid.
Has he tagged you yet?
Oh yeah, and the bed and the comforter and
Now, for what it's worth, my girl, they're not much better.
No.
They just can't like go wild, like
right. The unpredictability of the direction, and then pissing on his face, pissing above his head. I felt bad, but it happens. I mean,
so fucking dumb. God damn it!
I'm telling you, when they told me, yeah, you just gotta wait, pop it open, and close it, and just wait. Because if you pop it open, you'd be like, ooh,
yeah,
it's time to go.
It's cold, baby.
I wish someone had told me that shit.
See, dude, I was really lucky because, like, mine never really had a problem. Once or twice. Other than that, nope.
Yo, mine literally projectile shat onto the wall.
So I was at my mother's. One time she had a squirter that went anywhere, and it was about 5 feet in front onto the floor. Missed us, thankfully.
Yo.
One time ever in her life.
On like the freshly painted mural that my wife had put in her bedroom.
Oh, I forgot about that part. The mural.
I hear my wife. She's just like, honey. She was like, "You have to see this."
She literally shitted up my baby.
I just found an actual security cam footage of Massey's guest room. It went away. There it goes.
Sounds about right. The pressure is just unbelievable. Like, holy shit.
And then the volume too. You're surprised by how much.
I haven't seen power like that before.
So how are you doing, Mr. Biggles? How's Bigglesworth Labs?
That's all right. I got some new initiatives in the works.
I put in order today.
Oh, thank you, sir. Yeah, we're chugging along. We're slowly. I don't know, man. It's a fucking weird market out there. I'm like so disconnected. I had a lot of like irons in the fire in various different things. Hey, look at that. See, like here's the thing. Like I haven't even been able to get the other stuff out.
Yeah,
I've been working on it. I've been working on it, but like I don't have like the first of all, it's freezing outside, so I can't sit outside. But like in order to test everything, I've been going through all of the stuff that they've been sending me to make sure all's well, and I need to fog the place out because all the derailment stuff, that the way I vape it anyway, the way I've always known it is like in a dripper, decent power, and you're doing so much of it that it's just I don't like. I'm not even comfortable like vaping too close to the kid. I'm like halfway, across the house if I'm gonna, take a hit while I'm watching her or something like that. And so it's freezing outside, so I can't like sit outside and let alone get like a couple of hours to myself.
Don Brickles.
Yeah, there's just like then having the energy. So I have like samples I need to try for the rest of the derailment flavors that need to get done, and I have like not been able to bring myself to do it at the end of the day. So that's one thing. Bigglesworth Labs is engaging in some new stuff that'll I'm not quite ready to talk about, but is going to be interesting pretty soon, and that's chugging along pretty well. We might offer hardware on the site soon.
Nice.
Yeah.
So TFV8 coils.
All it's just nothing but TFV. Vape like a Bigglesworth. I did get this guy. I haven't opened it yet. Again, if a function of just my life is shambles. Like I have things I've like a list of chores a mile long, and this is like one of them. Just to open this and use it. When I was in Denver, which was such a shit show, by the way. I don't mean like a shit show like it was like insane. I mean a shit show like it was a shit show. It was bad.
Oh yeah. So are you actually going to Foxwoods or Mohegan Sun, wherever it's at next?
NVE. I mean, it's a good show because just from a practical sense, it can draw in a lot of people from a nearby area. It's been done for a few years though, and I think it's been bigger every year. So maybe we're not doing Brooklyn. We had originally planned to do Brooklyn, but it's just logistically.
They're doing Brooklyn again in March.
I think they're doing Brooklyn. Yeah, beginning of March.
I was at the first one last year.
I might swing by just to say hello to some people, but I don't know about Foxwoods. Colorado was just so dead. So dead, and I think that there's a dual function. Partly it's that vaping is just kind of like conventions sort of seems to be generally a thing. It's going to be really specific with where you are. So at NVE in Foxwoods in Connecticut, and I was talking to Ian Firth from Cloud Provisions about this. By the way, his stuff is quite good. I tried a few of his things while I was there. He sent me home with them. He made a strawberry pocky flavor that's like,
oh, word.
Yeah. I think it's one of his Riot is the company specifically. It's good stuff. If you guys want to try it out, you can find him on Reddit too under Cloud Provisions. But he was saying he lives there, and he was like, where we are in Denver, it's like 8 million people in an 8-hour radius. So 8 hours, 4 hours in every direction, or 8 hours in every direction, whatever fucking big Colorado is. If people are driving, you can get like 8 million people. How many of them are vapors? How many of them are going to make the trip? What's the draw? So it was at just a hotel convention center, and that's it, in the middle of fucking nowhere. And then NVE in Connecticut is at a casino in Connecticut, which is part of the tri-state area, which like people within 2 hours, you can find 20 million people.
It ain't that far, yeah.
It ain't that far for anybody around here. And so you're going to get a lot of people just as a natural draw. So partly I want to say that the vaping convention circuit isn't as, it's lost some of its vim and vigor.
Oh, of course. But Colorado's it is murky just because of how spaced out it is.
It's super spaced out. And Colorado was really big on CBD. That is like, that's where the market is kind of going. The CBD is a really big thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And unregistered Nick Salt lines. Those are the two things that are all over the place. Everybody's got a Nick Salt line, and I think that there's maybe 3 or 4 companies that actually have properly registered Nick Salt lines. If I had to guess, it's a crazy situation. So I don't know. We're looking at doing a couple things that'll kind of keep us going. It's kind of a big question now as to, first of all, our government's a hot mess. So whether the rules are whatever they are, I mean, we could just keep the government shut down for a year and the FDA is not going to enforce shit. That'll be great.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of big open question in my mind as to whether any of this stuff actually winds up being a serious enacted and followed through on thing, or
we're talking about the flavor bans quite a bit earlier with Alex.
The who bans?
The flavor bans quite a bit earlier with Alex.
Yeah, there might be local, state, municipalities that do stuff like that too. It might just get chipped away at, and then I think that the Juul thing is the really big thing. I mean, we're going for a regulatory capture situation in my mind with that. There's going to be very few devices. The Juul will be among them, or a couple other companies may be able to pull stuff through with very deep pockets and maybe a more quality. Like if you look at something like the Orion with the DNA Go.
Okay, I don't want to interrupt you, but I gotta run, guys. So thank you for coming on. I will see you guys later.
Bye, dude. But yeah, that was the big thing. Even back in August 8th was the general thought. Even back then, amongst several of the orgs, was that whatever was going to come out of this at the end of it was going to be very different, and it was going to probably have access to vapor products to way more people, like Juul, but it was not going to be the open vapor market that we know, right? Like that was the thought, however long ago. I don't know if that's still the thought from the different organizations and stuff. I don't know if it still looks like that.
It seems so murky. It seems so like they're gonna do stuff, but like, are they really? Like,
that's how they did me too, man. Like it took us months to figure out how to fucking transfer ownership of our lines.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about the FDA was never my chief concern because of just how many times they've shown us that they're not on top of like Alex said before. They don't have your ducks in a row. It's the fucking states and local municipalities that I'm worried about because they can act a lot quicker, much quicker, and potentially influence whatever the FDA does. So, like NYC and like I was saying earlier, Jay, New York is trying to go 21 to smoke statewide, which will probably go through. Let's be honest, but
I mean, I'm generally okay with that.
And NYC is going for a flavor ban again.
I mean, here's the general upside though. At the end of the day, Jay, like you've still got soap.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no one that vapes uses soap.
Yeah.
I mean, it just means it's time
great soap.
Your standard markets.
Soap was fun to do. It worked pretty well. It was a lot of effort. And I didn't ever like try moving it into a sort of like scaling it for production. I never bothered to do anything like that. Never walked anywhere with it. I pretty much sold the soap I made, paid for all my materials, and I still offer it on the website. There's still soap there, so if anyone ever wants to buy it on a whim, you can get your favorite.
I don't know why I didn't think to ask you if you had any laying around when I was over.
So I checked that before I made the comment.
Mm-hmm.
I made sure it was available before.
Yeah, there's still. I don't know if every flavor is still in stock. We sell out of some of them like pretty quickly, and I haven't made any in ages.
Snowdrift is the best one.
There's 6 flavors there.
Wait, hold on. My question is something you sent me 100 years ago, and I still got the box sitting here because I've still got some of the stuff in there.
Yeah.
Do you still make the hard candy?
I mean, I can. Yeah.
The real cracker shit was really good.
I still have a bag of that real cracker candy, the same batch I made for you. I can't eat it.
Dude, that's amazing.
I opened it not too long ago, and I still probably had a good double handful of it because I don't eat a little like candy myself. But I went after some, and it had gone like soft, and I really liked the. Did
it stick to your teeth?
Hard crack.
Yeah, they're hard cracked. Did it stick to your teeth when you
No, you know the peppermint sticks you can get like at Cracker Barrel, like they're
the ones
they're kind of
like
like that. What's that?
The ones that like crumble.
Yeah, they're real soft and kind of crumbly. That's what it's totally what they do now. Which is, I mean, it still tasted great, of course, but the hard crack was what I liked. I liked
it. Takes longer. You get the nice,
yeah.
It's super easy to make. And TBH, that's something I am considering because at this point, like in 2014. I remember posting, I think it was 2014. I remember I was in Israel. And Bombi's, one of the people who I think still works at Bombi's, is a baker. And she took some Nana Cream flavoring and made Nana Cream candy just for shits and giggles. And Bombi's posted it kind of as a joke, just to like show people. And people lost their shit. You could probably go find the thread where I'm like, this is a product, I'm saying to everybody, I'm like, this is a product that will never be sold, never be anything. It's meant to elucidate that the flavors that we use are just candy flavorings.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of just a meme. And everyone's like, they're gonna use this to regulate us. They're jumping down my fucking throat. And not 2 years later, you've got the Candy King out there with fucking actual Sour Patch Kids and all sorts of bullshit all over. Like, honestly, so at this point, I'm thinking of just making Derailment Candy Company because it is like Chucky Finster is a master of the cracker, and you know what I'm gonna do is I was gonna put in those little Altoid tins sort of things, like, and when you open it, it's just gonna have a picture of like Farmer Chucky with like the fucking, you know, the straw in his mouth, fucking,
and his dumb nose piercing.
I thought it would do pretty well, and I may do it. It's just like, how do you? I don't know anything about breaking into the world of candy, so
I would buy that candy.
I would buy some right now.
It's really good, you know. It's delicious. It's actually like one of the nicest flavors, and it's not. It's a totally viable business model. It's just like you got to figure out how to sell fucking candy to people. How to, you know, like any business, you got to dump, you know, a whole bunch of money in it to get people to pay attention to it.
Candy is all about getting into fucking C-stores.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about that. It's all about that. You want to create like a brand identity.
So there's companies specifically, and the only reason why I know this is because one of the companies I used to work for had one of these companies on the floor beneath them, and I was smoking outside and talked to this guy. They specifically find candy companies and then build the displays and the layouts of C-stores for those companies so that they can help them best position to sell certain product. And they take money from smaller manufacturers to make sure their shit makes it into C-stores.
Yep.
As part of those displays.
There's always money to be made in capitalism.
Oh, yeah.
Angsty, if you want more, I'm happy to make you some. It's fun. I mean,
I definitely love more.
Add my name to this list. I really want to try this candy.
Yeah, I'll make a whole batch. No problem. It's been a while.
I still want to try some of this. It sounds really good.
Keep the baby well away from the molten lava sugar.
Right. I assume, you know, I mean, sugar is hygroscopic, right? So I assume it just absorbs some of the ambient humidity.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's all good. I'm happy to do it. I got to figure out how to make it sugar free so I can eat it.
There you go.
So wait, let's just go back real quick.
Yep.
This thing.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. What is it?
I was in Denver.
Yeah.
And for their juice competition, they used these guys. I think it's the Clitoro Pro. The Clitoro Pro. This guy had a mesh coil in it at 75 watts. Was remarkable. Truly, truly remarkable. I was like blown away with the quality of the flavor, just how crisp and delicious it was. And I looked at it, I bought this, and a 5-pack of the coils was like less than a 3-pack of TFEA coils. I was pretty surprised by that. I haven't opened it yet because I'm still working through my TFEA coils, but I was just like, I don't know. I'm really rare to, you know me, like I'm still using fucking TFEA coils for like more than 2 years at this point. It's hard for me to find something I like as much as that, and I was like blown away with the quality of that.
The Anakin mesh ones were surprisingly good too for what it was. I mean, it was a Clear coil, but it was, and I don't think they were quite that hot. Do you remember, Food? Did they have ones that you could run hot?
I don't, because the ones that we got mesh coils for the Zenith, which was Phil's replaceable coil tank. They're great. That was my least favorite thing about the Zenith were the stock coils, because depending on what kind of juice I was running through the original coils, I could get a little cottony tasting, but the mesh kind of, you know, alleviated that issue. Just fresher, you know, fresher flavor, less break-in time, all that. What I didn't try was the mesh coils for the Scion. Those are probably dope.
Yeah, they were. I got those whack. Faux show.
Yeah, that's like the extent of it with me. Other than that, I'm just doing baby shit all the time. Non-stop baby stuff.
Yeah.
Living that dad life. Being tired always.
You're here on that one.
Then I got a Whisper insert that I love, and I spend all my time on that when I'm not doing baby stuff.
Yeah. What were you going to talk about, Sean? You had something you're talking about.
I did, and I'll be pretty quick. I'll talk about this more after I actually have some time breaking everything in and getting used to everything. So, like the 6-year anniversary when I come back on. After last week, some really nice individuals sent me some coils. Rob being one of them, although I did not get his yet. It seems like there was a shipping delay, but I did get some from Shane. And I put those in. So I have those in both this guy and this guy with abolishment and abolishment, respectively. So my year-old coil has now been changed, and I've got nice Claptons in here which I've never really used before.
Oh, I didn't know abolishment could taste this great.
So there's not a huge difference in taste for me. It's not significant, and it could be because the ramp-up time is longer on these than it was on my Parallel.
Yep.
I'm probably not getting it as hot as I got it prior. However, I am finding the general vape to be very pleasant.
Is that a single battery, single Clapton on that thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
About 0.5. So I'm finding the vape to be very pleasant, but it's definitely not like getting quite as hot as my other one.
Well,
Right.
I do that with Rob's coil because his coil like.
So Rob actually wrapped lower for me for that reason. Shane wrapped me right in kind of my sweet spot from him and I chatting.
So he made you like a 0.5 similar vape quality to your Parallel.
Yeah. And the vape is really good. I'm really enjoying it. And I'm very thankful to both of these guys for this, because what I got from both of them, I'll be set in coils for the next 15 years. For as often as I change coils.
Yeah.
But I did want to give them a shout out for doing this and sending them over, and I am trying them out and testing them, and I'm enjoying myself so far. So thank you.
The nice thing about them too is since they're much more rigid than Parallels, it's a lot easier to rewick. It's a lot easier to clean them. It's
Yeah, Rob made 0.45.
Yeah.
Which I haven't gotten to try yet.
Yeah. But you'll probably like them. That's I've been running 0.35 on most of mine.
I like his coils because they're, in my opinion, they're chain vaping coils because the ramp isn't as quick as the Parallels that I was vaping prior. But even on a regulated, I'll run it a little low, like at 30 watts, when I think they should probably run at like 35, 36. Just, that first hit's not ideal, but the 2 and 3 and 4 is like.
Yeah, that's been the case with these so far too.
Yeah. That's how I prefer to vape. Not everyone does that, so I can see why you may not like that switch.
But I'll talk about those more next time I show up in a couple months.
You know, show like 3 shows in a row.
I know, man.
Whoa, you went from next year to a couple months, like.
Just because I did 3 shows in a row does not mean I'm coming back.
No,
I'm just letting everybody else know. That said, like, we've been on for more than 2 hours.
I know.
What else do we have to talk
We have to make up for the short. This did run longer than I wanted to, but fuck, shit happens.
It's 5 years, man. That's a big deal. Like 5 years and 250 shows. That's a big.
We've had a lot of hour-long episodes to make up for, so
I mean, our old year-long shows used to be like 3 hours.
It's true.
Do you remember the first one? Like all the giveaways and shit?
Yep.
No, that 3 hours when Steamy Steve would be on. Because
I think this is the first. I think this is the first year we didn't throw a charity event for it.
No, we did not.
I don't think we did last year.
No,
either.
we've become the charity called Bring Our Subscribers Back.
Last year, but I mean, we used to do huge shows.
Yeah.
But like, we also don't really regularly do guests anymore, so it's much harder to reach out to people who haven't been on the show for 3 years.
Right.
Hey, we want to guest up. Wait, how've things been? You still using your tube neck mod?
Yep. Yeah, I don't have anything else for the evening.
Yeah, no, I think I'm done as well.
Jay, thanks for taking some time out of dad life to come hang out for a few.
Yes.
Pleasure.
Bigglesworth Labs, check it out. He makes tasty shit.
Speaking
Real
of taking
Vape
time out of dad's stuff, are we playing Rocket League later?
If I'm still awake.
It's all good. But yeah, I want to thank Cisco, Alex, Chuff. Chuff came on.
Yeah.
That's Chuff. Yeah, Chuff came on. I think it was our first guest, right?
Yep.
Fucking boat anchor.
Yeah, boat anchor. The boat anchor came in. He showed us his box of Chuff caps. That said Chuff caps.
I still have my Chuff cap sitting right here on my finger.
So I want to thank everyone that came through and everyone for hanging out longer than normal. Don't worry, we'll do a 45-minute one for you next week. Okay. Okay. All right.
Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you to Biggles for coming through. Thank you. I love you all. Not really, but 5 years. What up? 5 and 5. Woo.